All right, let's give you this development now. Judgment has been reserved in Katiso Molefe's bid to appeal the decision by the Alexandra Magistrates Court to deny him bail. The lower court rejected his request for bail in August, arguing that he failed to prove exceptional circumstances required for him to be released. Molefe is accused of orchestrating the murder of a prominent music producer, Oupa Sefoka, also known as DJ Somebody, and his two bodyguards in 2022. He faces several charges, including murder, being in possession of unlicensed firearms, and conspiracy to commit murder. Now, during his bail application in August, the state told the Alexandra Magistrates Court that he is the mastermind behind the fatal shooting of Oupa Sefoka. However, the businessman maintained that the evidence against him is speculation, and he denied being a flight risk. All right, let's get now the very latest from our reporter, Calvin Dludla, who is on the ground there for us. I do believe Calvin is just getting himself ready to just give us a sense then in terms of what happened in court. Calvin, perhaps you can just tell us what transpired in court today.
Good afternoon to you, Unati, and to our SABC viewers at home. Yes, we are indeed at the Johannesburg High Court today. That is where Katiso Molefe, the murder accused, was expected to come here because of he has applied, or he wanted the court to overturn the magistrate court decision not to grant him bail. But we were told by the presiding officer that there was no need for Molefe to come here for these proceedings, but his representatives were there. You would remember that he is being represented by Mr. Advocate Michael Hurley. That is where Michael Hurley said to the court that Molefe is not a flight risk, and he will abide by the conditions if he is granted bail, and he will not contravene or interfere with witnesses or any evidence. But the state did mention that Molefe should not be granted a bail because they support the decision that was taken by the previous Magistrate Boshoff of the Alexandra Magistrate Court. So the judgment was reserved. The presiding officer saying that he will communicate with both parties and inform them of his decision. You would remember that Molefe is facing 5 counts of murder, including the murder of Oupa Sefoka, known as DJ Somebody. So Molefe was not here. We would understand that he is kept at the Hoshi Mampuru prison. So the presiding officer did mention that there was no need for him to come here, and the judgment was reserved.
Right, Calvin, thank you so much for that update. And of course, the legal defense, in fact, for Katiso Molefe spent the better part of today saying that the state is drawing influence from a base of speculation. This was, of course, one of the things that was heard today at that appeal at the High Court in Johannesburg.